Good morning. It is Wednesday, August 26, 2020. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Tai Chi, and I'm going to have to adjust that camera because it's looking for a way taller person and not giving me near enough floor space. Yeah, all right. It's okay. Yeah, I got space. I can walk back. That's nice. All right. So we're here to practice Tai Chi. We have some stretches that we're going to do, and then we have a small room set. Yesterday I gave a single step that uses a Tai Chi stepping method, but requires only enough space for you to take one leg forward and one step back. So we pivot leg, this one goes forward, and this one goes back. Right, so we'll work on that just a little bit today because I think that's a pretty good exercise to do, and we can combine that with brush knee step or brush knee hand movement. So we have complete. The other one is Golden Hop. Repulse the monkey or push back the monkey. So I'll show both of those here in just a minute. Let's do some stretches first. And the roof is still being worked on. It looks like it's going to be mostly done today, and there's probably going to be a little bit more to get done tomorrow. But I hope this week is, and I'm happy. If everything keeps going well, I'll be very, very happy. Anyway, let's start. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Yes, I am still nervous about the roof. So, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Hand circle to the front. Return to both sides. Up along center line. Stretch out. Bend the knees. You want the hips to roll over the legs. Waist bends, but you want the hips to bend more, right? This is not the waist bending, this is the hips bending. Two more. And one more time. And elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips. Follow your fingertips down. And one more time. The elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Both hands come back to center. Up along the center line, turn to your left. Make sure to bend the knees. Pull up through the abs. This really does work through the hip, not so much through the waist. Again, even though the waist and the shoulders, everything is moving. The focus of the movement, the focus of the circle is through the hip. One more time. Reach up. Elbows drop down. Wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Okay. And again, I seem to be having a little trouble through here. So, let's do our walking sets, and then we'll come back and we'll do the outward, inward, as well as the side and our teacup exercise. So I'm going to split this up just a little bit. Let's do our walking exercises. Hands behind your back. Feet about shoulder width apart, and transfer the weight to the left. Open the right. And bring the leg through. Transfer the weight. Shift back. Step through. Pull up through the back, pull up through the crown of the head. Tuck your chin. Keep everything straight. Find that solid balance point. Right there. So that it doesn't matter if you put, we're going to work on this a little bit more. It doesn't matter if you put your foot down or not. That would be your goal. Okay? Right now, it often matters whether or not I put my foot down. Okay? It's important to hold through your center, through the leg, and really, really important to find that balance point. Put your foot down to the side and turn the toes, center, and straighten. Finding that balance point, finding where you're positioned so that it takes the least amount of effort to remain in that position. That's your balance point. Whether it's on one leg or two legs, that's your balance point. All right, side to side. Let's go this way first. And feet together, open. Hands behind your back. And pull up the right. Extend. Don't go high. Keep it along the floor this morning. Right? Focus on where's that balance point. We'll work on raising the leg later. Okay? Where's the balance point? And again, this is 90 degrees, not today. Okay, and go back the other way, shift to the right, open the left. Reach with the toes. As you extend that foot outward, reach with the toes. My ankles still give me trouble. Reach with the toes. Right? So as you stretch the leg out, reach, 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 reach. Oh, got it. All right, and grab a hold of the floor and pull yourself to it. Straighten. All right, this reach out. Right? Sorry, I lost my balance, right? All right, this idea that we're going to reach out and, I don't know if you can see my foot, my little toes wiggling in my shoe. All right, reach out and grab with your toes, grab the floor, and pull down. Then pull the rest of you to that leg. So I'm gonna reach out. It's the same as if I'm gonna reach out for a handrail, right? And I'm gonna grab it, and I'm gonna pull myself over a little bit because, well, I'm on a walkway, and that's the downside, right? So I'm gonna pull myself over. This is the same concept with this stepping method. What it does is develops your full use of the leg, because as you're grabbing with your toes, you're engaging all of the leg muscles. It helps to develop that balance, that center that we're talking about this morning, so that as I'm reaching with my leg, and I'm not excessively leaning, because that will throw me off. I'm not going to be in balance, right? And yeah, my hands are here for a purpose, right? So if I pick my leg up, my hands didn't move, did they? I shifted a little slightly. I wish I couldn't, but I have to practice that a little bit more. It's not this or this, right? Leg comes up, doesn't have to come up high. Stretch out and reach with the toes. Grab the floor. Push into it. Pull down. As you set the heel, pull the leg to the foot that you just placed. The strength that's developed using this one step is the kind of strength that intrinsic strength that we want in all of our Tai Chi moves. It's not a grasp the muscles and pull the muscles and bunch the muscles kind of a move. It's, I'm doing something that's fundamentally natural, and I'm doing it in a way that uses the entire leg. Actually, it uses the leg and most of the back, but we'll talk about that another time. Okay, let's finish up our stretching exercises. We have the outward, inward, and then we have side to side, and we have our teacup exercise. Let's face this way for outward, inward, and then I will turn for the teacup. Okay? And hands up along center line. Breathe in and exhale, breathe out. Roll up. Nice and easy. Stretch up and down. Open and outward. Bend through the hip. Make sure you bend the knees. Follow the fingertips down, roll down through the back. As you roll down, pull up through the front, pull up and in. And center. One more time. Outward. And inward. Come to center. Hands up along center line. Split to both sides. Open. Sink. Keep the back straight. Bend through the legs. Make sure your hips move. Not sure if that's the right word. Make sure your hips bend, that this part of your hip moves, right? So the hip should move over the top of the leg. And the back should stay in good alignment over the hip. A little bit more. Stay straight. Just a little bit more. Yeah, you may feel that in the front of the leg and the knee. Pull up more. Pull up through the front of the leg. I'll talk about that in a second. And stay straight. Okay, I'm going to turn around. We'll do our teacup exercise. I'm going to shorten that just a little bit because I'm anticipating roofers being here in just a minute. When we're here, right, as we go down, this part of the leg, the front part of the knee, and the muscles that cross through the leg, pull up through the top of the leg. This wraps to the top of the leg. There's other stuff that extends into the hip. This wraps to the top of the leg. As we go down, holding this straight, you'll feel it. You will know that it's there. Okay? Flatten it. Don't bunch it. Don't let it grab. Pull. Like you're pulling taffy. Spread those muscles out along the top of the leg bone. Right? The more you can do that, the lower you can go without having as much strain. Generally, the more you can do that, the lower you can go. Okay? There has to be the capability of moving in the hip And that's what I was talking about, is the hip has to move, right? If this is my leg and this is my hip has to do this through this move. My leg stays, my leg's not going anywhere right now. My hip has to turn. If my hip's not turning, I can't do that, right? So the hip has to be open enough to turn. Little by little it gets more. You develop more flexibility there, or you're 6 or 7 and you already have it and you don't have to worry about it. The same flexibility that you develop, the same holding strength that you develop with the stances is the same type, not exactly identical, but the same type of holding strength that you need for holding your leg at 45 or taking it higher, as well as being able to do some of the basic kicks and footwork. All right. So fundamentals, it's important, are circle exercise. I'm going to keep myself really high because, like I said, I've got a little thing going on here. I don't know what it is. All right, so extend the right hand out, turn to the left side. Right hand palm up, left hand at your right shoulder, and circle. Palm stays up. And change hands. Come around one more time. And center. Straighten. Okay. I'm going to grab a little coffee here for a second. One of the things that I've talked about this morning is my own body condition, and I'm going to continue to stress this kind of thing. Okay, not to rag about it. I don't like to mention things unless it's necessary. When it's necessary, I want to point it out because it's something that we all go through. Okay? So I started this week being extremely anxious with the roofing thing that's happening. I'm still nervous about it, but so far it's gone pretty well, and fingers crossed it's going to continue to go well until it's done. So I'm really happy that things are going well. I did a lot of preparation for it, but even so, I was really anxious. It affected my practice. If I do not acknowledge that, if I can't, that's me looking in the mirror, then what's going on with you today? If I don't acknowledge that, it's going to affect my practice anyway. It doesn't matter. The better course of action is for me to understand it, to know it, knowing myself, and to acknowledge it at the very minimum. If I can't put it aside, then I need to know what it's doing, how it's affecting me. In this case, it was interrupting my concentration. Same as this morning. I'm listening for the trucks to arrive, for the guys to start with their ladders and stuff, and it's a distraction. So, what do? First I have to acknowledge it. You can't fix anything, you can't fix a problem that you don't know. You have to acknowledge it. Second thing I can do is to pay more attention to what I've been doing in the past, to rely on that practice, those hours that I've already put in, not what I'm putting in today, the hours that I've already put in. Rely on that to give me that impetus, to give me that little push to get going today. That lesson, that acknowledgement and in relying on previous practice, that's the lesson. We'll practice, a little more practice. Alright, so our Taiji form, we have small room form, and I talked this morning a little bit about that center line, paying attention to that center line, as well as using that as a method of practice. So in our form, I'm going to show you where this is. So in our form, we're here, right? Single whip. Excuse me. White crane spreads its wings. Right? Turn, step, brush knee. And then we step up, and we're here, and then we step again, brush knee. The stepping method that I gave yesterday, right? So I'm here, open, this is the same as our walking method. And I'm going to step through, and I'm going to shift back, and I'm going to come here and step through, right? And then I can shift back, and I can shift forward, and I can practice that as a way to strengthen my supporting leg, my pivot leg here, as well as to develop more dexterity in the leg that's moving. Alright, small space exercise, very good. Alright, to combine this with hands, and I'm going to turn around and show this a couple of different ways. Alright, combine this with hands. I'm here, open, step through. Right? Brush knee. I start here, right hand up, left foot front, left hand next to the left knee, right? This is exactly what we just did here, brush knee. This is exactly the same as what we're doing in this exercise. Turn, and we're just going to do brush knee on the other side, right? And we have this exists in the form. I modified this form so that we can do it in a small space. In the traditional form, there's a repetition of brush knee, right side, left side, right side. So, right side, left side. Right side, shift back, left side. Now, I go backwards. Right side, left side. Okay. This movement is though I'm getting different names for this movement in my head from the Cantonese and from the Mandarin, and the English is getting mixed together, so it's pushing back the monkey. Dong Ho. Yeah, I'll come back to that. Alright, so in Yang style Tai Chi, this is in the, first appears in the second section of the form. Right? Step back. Forward hand pushes out, lower hand pulls in. From here, I step through, brush knee, left hand down, right hand comes through. Shift back. Hands face each other. Step through. Left hand comes up by the ear, right hand by the knee. Step through. Okay, now shift back. Toes turn inward. Right hand comes up by the right ear. Okay. Right hand presses out, left hand pulls in. And do again. Right hand pulls in, left hand presses out, step backward. So right side, shift, turn left, step through, and shift back, press out, step. Turn this way. Right side, shift back, turn. Sorry about that. Let me fix that leg. Okay, brush knee, shift back, turn, center, step through, brush knee, shift back, right hand up, turn, press out. Left hand circles, right hand pull and step. Change and turn left, step through, right hand up, left hand pull in, right toes pull in, hand circle, step back. Reasonably effective. Lower is better. The knee should never pass the toes to the front. Should always be stable in the back. Always align the knee with the toes. But if you wanted to take that down to the floor, you could. Parallel is good. Parallel is fine. Alright, so practice one time our Tai Chi form. Keep this in mind. We'll review it again at the end of class today. I'm not sure how many times I'm going to have to repeat the form, so let's start that. Feet together. Salute. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release the left. Open. And breathe in. breathe out. Open right side, step 3 left, ward off, pull down, turn, and turn right, pull down, press, push, circle, turn, right hand extends, left hand circle open, single whip, palms down, palms up, raise the hands, circle, white crane spreads its wings, and turn, brush knee, step up, Hands Strum The Lute, and turn again, brush knee, deflect downward, parry, and punch. Shift back, close the door, turn, crossing hands, open, and stand straight, close, all right, I think I hear them out here, and I'm going to be nervous about that anyway, so I'm going to stop here for this morning. Thank you for bearing with me on the roof saga. It's kind of an important thing for me, so I appreciate that you indulging me in my little homeowner's anxiety. Thank you again. I will be here tomorrow for Wudang Qigong, same on Friday, and back next week without the roofers for Tai Chi. See you.